Hi everyone, you're at home with Melissa and I'm glad you're joining me. And if you're wondering why I'm laughing, it's because of the same thing that's causing us not to have a plant in front of me for this plant video. And that is Chloe Kitty, the rescue kitty. She's busy eating our demonstration plant. And we're on take five of this. Let me show the plant to you really quickly. It's really not that impressive. Okay, hold on, Chloe. This is it. There you go. It's not impressive at all right now. It's just a tiny little grass, right? I'll give that back to Chloe. Keep her occupied so we can talk. Okay. What it was is Pampas grass, P-A-M-P-A-S, and that's a grass. It's actually several cultivars, and they're native to South America, and they are actually called Pampas grass because of the region in which they were found, and they can now be found throughout the world because they've been shipped everywhere. Really popular to use as an ornamental grass. And the reason for that is that they can grow up to 15 feet or 4.5 meters tall. Yeah, pretty tall. And one plant can produce, I think, around 1 million seeds in its lifetime. So it can spread prolifically in warmer climates, and in fact is considered an invasive species in some warm places, Hawaii being an example. So if you live in a warmer area and you're thinking about planting this, first, check around, find out if it's considered to be invasive in your area, because if so, you don't want to plant it and risk it escaping your garden or your property and causing problems for the environment, for the local environment. But otherwise, it's really good. It can be grown in the United States in our growing zones 4 through 10. So that's one zone north of us, and we get cold winters with snow, and we have hot summers. So if you go really far north, you probably can't grow it as a perennial unless you protect it, but as an annual, yes. Now I see it growing around here, so I think that it grows just fine as a perennial here without any additional protections. And it can be used if you're desperate, I suppose. You could allow your grazing animals to feed on it. It is used as feed for grazing animals sometimes, but that's not a common use for it. Primarily it is used for the more decorative things because they look beautiful. This huge tall grass with big white tufts on top of it, very feathery looking, really, really pretty. And the grass that I just showed you is in fact going to be planted out at the back of my property. And the reason I'm planting it there is because I want it to be kind of a privacy screen, something that's pretty for the neighbors to look at, but yet gives me privacy, and it's tall enough that it'll do that. It'll also block out some of the extraneous noises from other properties, and it'll help cut down on wind and snow blowing in the winter and things like that, the dry grass will. So it's going to come in handy for me, and you can take those tufts of grass and cut them and dry them and use them for flower arranging, plant arranging, or just put a few of them in a tall vase on the floor. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that's what I'm going to use them for. And what you want to do, you can grow them from seed. They'll grow just fine from seed, or you can buy little plants at your local garden supply store or nursery, or you can order it online. And before you plant it outdoors, you want to harden it off. And oh, kitty almost fell. And how you harden it off is very simply, hardening a plant off means you're gradually acclimating it to the outdoors, because no matter how much lighting you have inside, it's not as bright as sunlight. You're not going to get anything as bright as the sun in your house. And you're also not going to have the differences of the hot and the cold and the wind and things like that. And the plant can't be taken usually straight from the one environment indoors to out in full sun, which is what this plant will like, without something in the middle to kind of gradually acclimate it. Otherwise, it'll go through shock and it can even die. So what you want to do is grow it a little bit indoors. You know, in the next size pot up from this would be fine. Just so that you've got a nice healthy plant going, okay? And then you want to take it out and take it into a shady area during the daytime, bring it in at night for about a week. And then once you plant it in the ground, make sure for the first couple of weeks that it stays nice and moist. One good thing, in addition to what I've mentioned about this plant, is where you can grow it. Not only do I mean in a wide variety, obviously, zones 4 through 10. That's a lot of different climate belts that it's covering. So it can grow in a lot of different places, but it can also withstand a lot of different conditions outdoors at your place. For example, whereas a lot of plants don't like having wet feet, they want well-drained soil. These guys, the Pampas grass, kitty left. Demo object back. Okay, these things will accept poorly drained soil, which makes it lovely. And they'll also take a little bit of flooding. So let's say you have an area on your property that tends to get really damp and soggy at a certain time of year, and then it kind of dries out and things. There you go. This plant will do just fine there, and it's really pretty to look at. So that's how you grow it. That's where you grow it. And I kind of hope you do grow it. It's just really nice. It's pretty. It's just really pretty. And it makes a statement on a property. I mean, you can have a lot of little plants growing around and things like that. But if you've got a nice big patch of one type of plant, and the pampas grass is a perfect example, one nice big tall beautiful thing in 1 or 2 locations on your property, that can really make a great focal point. And this is one of those. So if you're interested, go on out, plant it, and enjoy. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.